Hello, I'm Max Balegde.
And I'm George Clarke. Welcome to the Useless Hotline. TikTok wasn't enough after, so we decided to set up our own little business.
Yes, we did, Papa. And the Useless Hotline is a place where we help you with your queries, no matter how weird, disgusting, or ha they are.
But it won't always just be oos. Some weeks we'll be joined by a special guest, and never before have we been joined by a more special guest than Colonel Sanders' little mini fillet.
It's Evie! Evie has joined the party. Evie is officially one of our interns.
Oh, and she's brought a matcha along with her. And she loves a matcha, does Evie?
Oh.
Look, she responds to matcha.
Matcha. Oh, guys, this is my dog, Evie, in case you are new here for some unknown reason. I've just got a puppy, and this is she. Oh my god. Our interns already know that though, because they're in the Patreon, and we dropped an exclusive photo.
They're cute as hell. And also, by the time this episode's come out, our Patreon members would have had an exclusive live stream avec Evie.
Oh yeah, we're doing a puppy live stream.
Oh yeah.
Immediately after filming this.
Getting our puppies out.
Indeed. George, I mean, you just met Evie for the first time. What is your verdict?
She is incredibly just the perfect dog. It's absolutely insane because I was at Ethan's for his 30th on the weekend, and he's got little Rolo. Are you aware of who Rolo is? Their sausage dog.
Oh wait, yeah, I think yeah.
And Rolo is fine if you are his source of warmth outside of a very cold stable.
Yeah.
In the heat, that boy don't give no shits.
Source of warmth inside a very cold stable that was poetic. I don't know if that actually means anything.
No, he's not. No, that's actually very accurate.
Also, it lives in a stable.
I was its source of warmth on stable dates.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So. But you're like, hello, and then at one point he rolled over. I just rubbed his little belly and he actually pissed on himself.
Wow, that's so hot.
And then just ran off. Evie, however, on the other hand, how old is she?
She is 11 weeks old.
11 whole weeks old.
Nearly 3 months.
And she runs in, she's like, oh my God, I've seen you online. and then she literally just immediately just goes, all right, pick me up, picked her up, and she just laid there like, what's the character you said from Jungle Book?
Like Bagheera from Jungle Book on a branch.
Yeah, literally like picturesque jaguar pose on a branch, just like one arm little hanging down, and was just completely chilled the fuck out. She only tried to nip slightly in her excitement, but people do that to me anyway, so I don't know if I can blame that to her age.
Absolutely not. Do you know what I just thought? Could you pass me that blanket, Callum? I'll try to set up like a little thing for her on the desk, because I feel like she might just chill out if I put something nice for her on the desk here. Do you just want to come and sit up here, Evie? Oh, there we go.
I didn't take long, did it? She's just immediately...
That's too bloody cute.
Look at her!
See what we mean, people? This wasn't pre-planned. She doesn't even know her freaking name, and she understands bed means bed place.
Oh my God! When we went to go and pick her up from the breeder, the woman said, she was like, if you have any hesitation in having her, I will take her. And we were like, no, like, we're dead set. And she was like, I've never had a puppy that is this calm. She said, like, out of all of her brothers and sisters, she would go to a place in the house by herself and just sit there, to the point where when we actually went to pick her up, the woman was like, I can't find her. She just goes and like sits by herself. So then if you watch my puppy vlog out now on YouTube, we were sat in the waiting area, and then the woman's going around the house looking for her. She runs up to us and starts like just standing by our leg, but we didn't even know it was her because nobody was there to tell us. And then we found out it was her, and it was like the most perfect moment.
That's so
like,
cute.
Oh my God, honestly, having her has just been a dream.
She's how old in dog years?
Well, so if she's 11 weeks old and they times that by 7.
I don't know the way you're teeing this up like it's I have to do the maths and I'm a child in your class.
11 weeks old times by 7. 11 times 7
77.
is 77.
She's 6.5 years old.
6.5 years old in a human
Wow.
years in dog years.
She's beyond her even human years.
She is. She's just so chilled out.
Is she just going to start like filing taxes or something?
I believe so. I believe
great.
she. I
Oh,
hope she bloody does.
Do you remember that show where they had, I think it was on Channel 4, I think Jimmy Carr presented it, and there was, like, it might have just been called Child Genius, and they just went up against celebs.
Yes.
In like,
Are you smarter than a 10-year-old or something?
No, that was a different show.
Oh, okay.
But they went up against celebs in this, like, sort of like questionnaire type scenarios, and it was really quite a strange watch, because the celebs or whoever it was were like answering these questions and like, be like, oh yeah, got it right, but then there'd just be this like 11-year-old in front of them who their whole life has been a super genius, who's obviously come up against like a 50-year-old celeb and has not got the question correct, but the other, and they'll be like, I won't slam the table because
of course,
Evie's here.
Sensitive queen over here.
Like, they'd be there like just like pissed out their freaking. It was a really strange watch.
I always used to watch shows like that and just be like, oh, I feel like if there was a really specific like subject that I was doing it on, I feel like I could be a child genius in something, but I just never, and I don't think I will ever be classed as a genius.
Calls. What's your specialist?
I was thinking this yesterday, George. And I don't know. I thought the TV show Glee, because I obsess over that. However, I've not watched it in years, so I need to really brush up.
Could you choose series? Because some people go on and they're like, so for example, Chris said, could I do Birds of Prey? And they said, can you narrow it down? So they, and then apparently, so he did British Birds of Prey, and apparently they give you like a certain number of pages from a textbook that they will quiz you from.
Oh, wow.
Or like they give you sort of pages of
I'm okay with that.
Some bits of information that you will be quizzed on, some bits that you won't. So it's just like, it's basically like you get given an AQA revision book.
Right, yeah,
and you just go, oh, I'll learn everything. Oh, these bits don't come up, but these bits did.
Yeah.
Also, I wouldn't know what I'd go for.
I feel like mine would be Pokemon and yours would be long jump.
Mine would be David Tennant's Doctor Who.
Oh, okay. Do you know what? I see that for you. I really see that for you.
So that's my best quizzing performance ever on like any point in my life was when you quizzed me and Tia Coffee. Yeah,
and that was so mesmerizing. The level, like,
sorry, Evie.
I've also noticed that we're both speaking at quite a little bit of like a delicate
since
tone.
Evie's been here, everyone's speaking really quietly.
Callum, when she came in, was like, oh, I want to speak, I want to scream. I was like, you can make noise, it's fine. She does live in my household, so she's very much used to like chaos. Oh my god, I just keep looking at how adorable she is.
Yeah, we don't have a roaming camera anymore, we've just got an Evie camera.
Oh my god.
She have, like, when you, at any point throughout the day, is it normal that you've got a puppy yet?
I'm still very excited. Like, when, for example, like the other day, on Friday, I had like a day of shoots, so I was out of the house like constantly. And usually I'd be like, right, I'm just want to get back, order some food, scoff the lot, order more food, scoff the lot, order one more, scoff the lot. No, I'd just be like, oh, I just want to get home and like, whatever, chill out, go to bed. And now as I walk into the house, I'm like, oh my God, I have a dog that's going to be really, really excited to see me.
That
because
would make your day so much better.
Genuinely, she is so excited to see me all the time. Look at her.
Little thing.
George, she's fucking brilliant. Like, when I tell you, never in my wildest dreams did I think that a dog that I would own would be this chill.
Oh yeah,
like,
thinking about it, you would be, no offense,
oh, all
nigh
offense,
on hopeless.
Yep. Yeah.
And if it was an unruly dog,
100%.
I feel like you'd snap back at it.
100%. I don't even know what I would do. Even just on the way here, bless her, because she got given these collars by this like beautiful dog company. I think they're called like Cocoa Pup or something, and they gifted us the most like gorgeous little
so
like
cute.
pink collars with strawberries on them and like a name tag for her and everything. And we put it on her, but it's a tiny bit too big. So as she was in the car, it got caught in her mouth here because she like dug under it. So I had to pull over and do it, and my heart was pounding so much. I was like, because I've got shaky hands at the best of times whenever I'm scared. So I'm like rattling around, like trying to undo this collar, and she's just like, ah.
She just goes, Max.
She calmed me
For
down.
all my 6.5 dog years on this earth, I've been in these situations before. Just chill. I'll do it myself.
Yep.
You chill over there. Hey, get yourself a matcha, and I'll do this myself.
She actually did calm me down. I'm gonna turn her around just so that you can see her a bit more acutely. Is that a better angle for her? Shall I move this? Oh, sorry, Queen. Sorry, my darling.
That's good. I got her on here.
Bless you. Sorry, Queen. And it's so adorable. Like, if she ever gets scared of anything, like Andrew, we're learning. Obviously, she's so adorable, and she's like everything that you would ever want and more. And you look at her and you just want to die, and you just want to love her. But you do also have to like reprimand her if she's doing anything bad.
Yeah.
So like the other day, we've made a little. You can also see that in the vlog. Go watch it. We've made like a little caged off area, like, so she has her own cage that she sleeps in, and then we've caged off an area that leads directly to outside, so she can just go outside. But there's the skirting board along the side of it, and the other day Andrew caught her like chewing the skirting board, like she chewed a load of wood off it, which is just mad. Like she just chews everything.
Just like daughter, like father.
Oh, you know what I'm like? Can't stop eating.
Yeah, mouthful of wood.
Stop. That was good. I didn't see it going that way. Also, I just slammed the table, and I do that all the time, but I can't do it with the dog on it. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I want to wrap her up like a little burrito. Oh my god. She makes me want to die.
It's actually incredible how much like fried chicken she looks.
Yeah. And the frigging, we'll get onto frigging Colonel Sanders of it all. Jesus Christ. Andrew. So I taught Andrew like how to reprimand her because she's a puppy. She loses, like, her attention span is so nothing. So, like, you can be going no, and instantly she's looking at your hand and, like, focusing on that, so she's not even listening.
Yeah.
So we had to, like, lift her up. We saw this thing online, lift her up and, like, go to her face so that she knows to only keep her attention on you and be like, no. And then he put her in a cage. So then afterwards, I came in from the kitchen, and I think I just said, like, no in conversation to Andrew or something. And she, like, got scared and thought that we were, like, shouting at her again. And she, like, ran away. And my heart sank so much. Like, so now, instead of saying no, we say, So, did you see her face then when I did it? She was like, what have I done? Because that's a less normal thing to say in everyday conversation. Yeah. So then she doesn't think that we're just, like, mad at her all the time. But she is really good.
Unless you need to call for some work to be done on your car.
Oh, okay. The AA, that would be a bit disappointing.
I know you and Andrew work exclusively on phonetic alphabet.
Yes, we do. So we would call a company like...
Doing some work with the Bubaka? That's the TV network. They haven't got a third member of the relationship.
Yes, yeah. But no, she's just like the most chilled out. She's a bit she gets very excited, like when you came in before, you could see her like hopping about and everything. That's when she gets really excited, and sometimes it's hard to calm her down, but because she is so young, she just goes to sleep.
She's asleep at hell right now.
Yeah, she's just so perfect. Like if I was to dream what sort of dog I would have, it's her. Like, it actually is her. Oh my god, my heart is aching.
How much big does she get?
She shouldn't get too much bigger than what she is now. So
really?
So they grow for like the first 10 months of their life, I think. And obviously she's just about 3 months in. But she is a toy poodle, so hopefully, I think at the absolute most, she might just under like
it's all right,
double size.
About it.
Yeah. You can't imagine.
Have you noticed she's grown since you got
her? Yeah. So watching back when my grandma came this weekend, because my grandma has Instagram just to watch my videos, and she didn't know that I post on YouTube as well. And we like vlogged all of our like trips and everything. This has just become me advertising my YouTube, by the way, unintentional. And I also thought like, I watched some of my vlogs with my grandma, and she fucking loved it. Like, I imagine that your family watch your stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't even register.
It's much easier to get on and like. But like, that's incredible that she likes yours.
And like, shut up. And I just didn't even think, like, my grandma is so interested in what her family are doing at all times.
Yeah.
And I've literally got a video log of our entire trip that I'd just be calling her, telling her about. And I'm like, why didn't I suggest that she watched it? So she was watching it like it was a Marvel movie. She was like, like she was loving it. So we sat and watched our puppy vlog together. And even in that, I could see how much she's grown just in the short amount of time that we've had her.
What, your grandma?
Yes. She has been eating.
She's grown, bless her.
Yeah. But no, it's just like, because you've never had any pets, have you?
I had a hamster, but it hung itself.
Oh, well, okay. Oh, okay then. Let's keep you away from Evie.
But as we were speaking about Child Genius on Channel 4,
Mm-hmm.
are there any TV shows you've recently consumed?
Well, there was that.
Or like any Netflix
Did you hear about that
shows?
Virgin Island?
Virgin Island I wanted to watch.
I wanted to watch
downloaded
it.
it for the tried to download it for the Monaco flight, but everyone tries to download shit as they're on the flight now,
And then it never
so that
works.
You just can't fucking download
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and it's hell. It's hell. When you're in that moment of sheer panic and
Yeah.
you're on your last whisper of 5G and you're like, come on, fucking download, and
Yeah.
it's like 94%, and then you start taking off and you're like, oh my God, why have I done this to myself?
Can we say in that moment, hypothetically, this isn't me speaking, but hypothetically,
Are you about to say
Would
like
your- would your
airline boner?
would your hypothetical self not turn airplane mode on?
No, my real life self would not turn airplane on, because I have recently just decided that I think I'll be fine. Do we know why you have to have airplane mode on? Am I going to get cancelled?
I'm sure there'll be people in the comments that will
Should
say
we Google
why.
it? Callum, can you just Google it?
Yes.
Why you need airplane
to
mode
play
on a plane?
devil's advocate here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason they don't let you take a bomb on the plane, because that explodes. That brings
Valid.
the flight down.
Valid.
There's a reason they don't let you take other things on the plane, because that can have an active. If in your bag you are allowed to take several devices which could all hack into the mainframe of the plane and send it into the ocean.
I love hacking to the mainframe, by the way. I say that all the time.
I don't think they'd be saying, "Oh, for these ones, bring them on, but can you just promise that you put airplane mode on?"
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. Like, bring your gun, just put safety on.
Yeah.
But I guess it's a bit different.
So,
But same sentiment.
When I searched why do you need to put on Google, the first thing it said was airplane mode on.
Wow.
And on here, it just says it's enabled on electronic devices during flights to prevent potential interference with aircraft systems. But I've seen a lot of videos of like pilots saying that it won't.
Do you think it is for hackers? Like, if someone knows how to hack a system?
But the fact that it's on the onus of the person with the phone to put it on means that if you were a hacker,
Yeah,
you just wouldn't put it on.
put it on. Also, most airplanes have Wi-Fi.
Ah, you foiled me again.
Yeah, true.
Can you please make sure whilst we're on the flight, instead of turning, this is what they should do then, if it's for hackers, instead of saying, can you turn airplane mode on, can you say, guys, can we please not hack on this flight? And then they'd be like,
Yeah.
Do you know what I found out? Do you know when they're like, you cannot have lithium batteries in like your suitcase?
Oh, I know
That's
why.
literally because one time a laptop or something with a lithium battery in it set on fire. Just one time.
I respect that. As like
that
as
actually
rule
makes a lot
to
of
be
sense.
Like,
Yeah.
let's not do this now. Whose airplane mode fucked it for everyone?
Yeah.
Innit? Who was on like the Nintendo DS in 2012 and accidentally like picked or chatted their way to a plane crash?
That's what I'd be like. I don't. In my head, if there is something that you hold in your hands which could do such irreversible damage to a plane that it's dangerous, they wouldn't let you bring it on.
And hey, no one's stopping me from using my hands. These can cause irreversible damage. I'm the apex predator.
Oh, actually, speaking about airport annoyances.
Oh, go on, because I have so many of them. I'm galvanized.
I completely understand why we don't use proper knives in the airport.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, can we please work another way around that isn't what is essentially a flat spoon?
Oh,
that
I'm
is
sick
not
of it.
The airport knives that have a blade that is the length of my actual penis and is like just flat and just pointless.
Oh, I'm mad. I understand it being blunt.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be that small?
I think it's because there is a literal law on the length of a blade or like some type of object that you're allowed to take on a plane.
Do you know, I've actually got something that I travel on with my keys, and I've gone through airports that have never been stopped. I'll come show you. And I cannot believe. So that just looks like a key, right?
Yeah. Don't tell me it's a knife.
That's a serrated knife. Little pocket knife.
Oh my
God.
God.
And that's never been taken off.
That's wild.
And I've flown loads.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Whoa, that's so if you work at the airport and you see this man.
Get your face in there. Oh.
But yeah, so butter knives from basically sporks that you're using to try to cut things. I get the reasoning. Can we please have a workaround? There's got to be a
100%.
workaround.
There's got to be something.
If you're looking for a big pitch on Dragon's Den, we don't need the money. We're not going to do this. You joking? You just go in, think of an alternative, and I swear to God that will break the industry because
100%.
because I once forgot, and I don't know if this is on me or if this is on the restaurant for even fucking offering this. I believe, I don't know if this was a nightmare that I had. I believe I got a steak at an airport.
Oh, and what are you doing with that steak? You ain't cutting it easily. I'll tell you that much. You're hacking away at it.
I'm not cutting it. I'm just making suggestions. That's all I'm doing with it.
It would have further cooked
knife.
by the time that you're done with it.
This is a great way of putting it. I'm suggesting the steak cut itself in half.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But that's my one qualm. My, I think, biggest qualm.
Oh, go on. Because I have many qualms.
Is airport security.
Oh, George, that's my
now
qualm.
Progressing to the point where we're like, oh, you don't need to take your laptops out of your bag. That's freaking sick. There's 2 points I'm making here. Freaking sick. Okay, cool. I put it through. What happens? Oh, you've got a laptop in your bag. I probably need to check that shit. And
yes.
It's like, brother,
thank you.
my brother in arms, please tell me why you've made me keep all of. And there's a gentleman at the start who physically says to me, he says, keep that stuff in your bag.
Yep.
I'm about to take it out. No, you have to keep it in. And then you sort of try to take things out. No, keep it in. And I put it in, and they then go through the thing, and they go, fuck, you got a lot of stuff in here. Can we see what it is in there? I was going to do that for you, sir.
Oh, George, don't
that,
even get me started. Don't even get me started.
Not only that, I now, that is one qualm. Another qualm that brings with it, not every airport has the same system.
George, this is my main major qualm. Okay, qualm city, qualm on toast, qualm absolute cake. Like, I am fuming over this. Tell me how I can literally be in the same country but at a different airport, or at the same airport,
just different bits.
Different
Gatwick.
bits. And they can have completely different rules. How can I be in America, TSA, yes, I'm talking to you directly right now, TSA in America? First of all, what the fuck is pre-check? Don't understand it, don't have it.
They do pre-check?
Oh, in America, there's such a thing as TSA pre-check, which means that you get to go in a separate line that is apparently quicker, that I always see 17,000 people in it anyway, so I don't even know what the pre-check is. I don't know what they're checking for. Seemingly, they don't have to go through as much security. I don't understand how you can pay for the right to go through less security. If anything, that would make the alarm bells ring in my head, and I'd go, oh, we should be checking them more. The fact that they're trying to bypass security.
Facts no printer. I'll ask you this question.
Go on.
Max, when we hopped on that Jack Wills private jet back in the day,
George.
there were how many bags?
Oh, several many. At least 2 per person.
It's got to be at least 20 little sort of suitcases that were going on this plane. Max, how many did they check?
0.
It was 1.
Oh, 1.
They checked 1 and they went, yeah, you're probably all good then.
That was madness. That was madness.
And then you get there, you get off the little plane, and you're met by a singular person who their office was stood next to a bin, and they just go, yeah, that's you, all right, on your way through.
Wild. Like, basically, if you're rich, you can do whatever you want. That's what that told me.
But this brought me to where were we on the way back from? Who was it? I was with my friends, so it must have been somewhere. Where did I go recently? Amsterdam.
Yes.
On the way back from Amsterdam, I was getting my stuff out of my bag to put it in the trays and stuff, and she went, no, keep it in your bags. And then, but no, it was put it in a separate bag. No, yeah, so laptops were in a separate tray. Some things were in the bag. Other people were told to take their hats off. I took my hat off, and I had a belt on. So I went, I'll take my belt off. Took my belt off. The belt was off. And she goes, no, you keep the belt. And I was like, right, I'll just put it in the tray now that it's off. No, you keep the belt. And I was like, this is so much more of a problem than it needs to be. So I was like, okay. Wait for her to turn around and just put it in like Arthur's tray or something. She looks down, sees it, and goes, why don't people fucking listen? And I was like, what?
I was
like, what the fuck?
Honestly.
I was like, what does that belt being in a tray actually do for you? Like, I get it's a stressful job. I get.
No, it's not. No. I'm gonna completely cut you off there. It is not a stressful job. If you have a public-facing job, you need to be able to deal nicely with the public. I will never stop saying that. If your entire job is helping, operative keyword, helping people go through probably a bit of an anxiety-provoking situation, airport security, you should be able to smile at those people and help them. Why do you act like I've just punched your mum in the face? I've not. But after the way that you treat me, I will. If I ever see your mum, it's on site. She's getting decked, TSA.
I understand my co-host's thought process. I am just in the boat of, hey, maybe I caught them on a bad day. Maybe it's a bad day. Everybody has a bad day.
It's about to be a bad day if you mess with me, because I'm going to punch your mum.
Yeah, but I'm willing to sort of say, okay, you had a bad day, but I don't know why my belt being in eighth. By the way, if I go through that machine, there is no doubt in my mind it clocks that I've got a fucking belt with a metal buckle on it.
100%. 100% it will. And you will have to be patted down.
Because, by
they
the
probably
way,
wanted to touch your package. That's what it was.
I had my watch on. She said, take your watch off. There can't be too much different going on in a watch and a belt. They're basically a strap with a metal thing on it.
Yep.
Like,
it's a disgrace, George.
One stays on, one goes off.
Honestly.
Shoes had to come off as well, by the way, I think.
Oh, sure. Don't get me started on that.
So I was so freaking confused as to what was going on.
Don't
and
get
then
me
she goes,
started.
why don't people fucking listen? And then do you know what she says?
What?
It's the same in every airport.
Oh.
Not once have I ever been told to put my belt back on.
That's mental. Why?
Sorry, Evie.
Why? In America, of all places, they are a company that do this. TSA, it's a company that is used in every airport.
The sluts abroad, that's what I call them.
Why do they not have standard procedure? Why is every single airport that I go to in America completely different? In this one, you have to leave everything in your bag. This one, you have to get your devices out. This one, you have to take your shoes off. This one, you have to take your belt off. I'm so sorry if I get an angry American man looking at me dead in the eyes one more time going, take your shoes off. Take your shoes off. Oh, God. And they're so fucking rude. Honestly, I was there and there were these two people, I believe that they just said that they were from Korea, didn't speak very good English, and this man was trying to publicly humiliate them, to put it nicely. Are you listening to me? Take your shoes off. Can you understand me? And I wanted to turn around and go, you wanker. You should be fired. How dare you speak to anybody like that in your public-facing, helping human being job?
What I will say, two things actually. Numerous times actually, I've been surprised at how jolly people are, because it would be a very mind-numbingly boring job.
Yeah.
And I feel like throughout the day, perhaps there would be a build-up of, fucking hell, like, why are you asking that question? I've literally just told you. Like, come on, mate. What we doing here? Like this, because what I feel like what people don't understand if they've not from like being a waiter. I'm aware that's not the most like.
But it's a repetitive job.
World.
Yeah.
Yeah, dealing with the public, you realise there are a lot of us in Britain who are very, very silly.
Oh, 100%. But do you know what?
There are a lot of idiots out there.
Do you know what I thought, though?
and you
get fed up.
Yeah, fairs.
And then when anyone does anything that's not exactly what you wanted them to do, you can lose it a little bit.
I remember one time when I worked at the Chippy, this woman came back the next day to say that the chips that I served her were burnt to a crisp and they were black. So I said to her, well, do you have any evidence of this? And she said, no. And I said, well, did you eat them? She said, yeah, but I only had half because they were black. And I said, well, what do you want me to do? She was like, I want a refund. And I was like, so you tell me that you ate them and you have no evidence of it, but I'm just supposed to believe you that they were black. Also, that just wouldn't happen. I wouldn't serve you crisp, charred chips, you stupid bitch. Oh my God, I'm mad. I'm so mad. I'm sorry. I need to calm down.
Also, there is a reverse, which I'm very aware of. And I often see it as well, actually, at airports. Airports are the ones that get people riled up. The amount of times that I've seen someone get so unbelievably pissed off at, like, an airport member of staff who is basically just relaying information, and I get you've missed your flight or something's happened.
That
and
iconic show that used to be on. What was it
do you know
called?
Arthur TV was the one that collated those clips and made them put them on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
Go on then, Arthur TV. That's iconic.
But yeah, like I can get why it would piss you off and stuff, but I feel like I look at it and I'm like, it's not their fault, is it?
Of course, listen.
Like their poor thing has
But
to
do you know
come
what?
out
That's
and
the same.
face like 30 people.
Oh,
and
that's
just be
hell.
like, sorry guys, but it's company procedure that you guys are going to have this. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I bet the person saying it also thinks that.
But that's the thing is, I think that is that exact same mentality on both sides. I'm not saying that all airport workers are horrible people, but I'm saying that if you are doing a job like that and you are a horrible person who gets really tired of people, then you should not do a job like that. Likewise, if you are somebody that is going to go to the airport and shout at a worker, then you deserve to be put on a no-flight list. Do you know what I mean? It works both ways. Like, I think that you just shouldn't be a massive twat. I just get so mad at airport work. Do you know, the one time, which this is definitely not allowed and God knows how it happened, I brought loads of liquids with me by accident. Like, I was on holiday, went back through the airport, had like full aftershaves that I just bought. All of my toiletries were accidentally in my bag because I'd gone to the country to do like a shoot for the day. So I accidentally brought like basically loads of stuff that you're not allowed.
Yeah.
And the only reason that I got let through with it instead of having to throw it away is because the girl recognized me from TikTok. And in that moment I was like, that's not safe.
I had
like, what?
My bag got pulled up. And my bag pulled up. It went okay. So there was people waiting for their bags, and I was waiting for. There was a long line of it. Mine was about 6 bags down, maybe.
Oh, bless her.
My bag was about 6 bags down. There was people waiting, and I was just there like, fuck, this is just a bit boring because my bag historically is. I pack a fair amount in there. I've always got laptop charger, remote fan.
Yeah, on the go.
Nintendo Switch,
a lot.
headphones, etc., etc. So it always just gets pulled. So everyone's just there like waiting for me, and then this person just comes out of nowhere and is just like, "Which one's yours?" And I was like, "That one," and they just popped it down and then just went, "There you go." I was like, what?
Did they say anything else?
And then, but they were just, they gave the sort of look of like,
I know who you are.
Yeah.
But probably couldn't say that.
Yeah, and then somebody,
That's wild.
their like supervisor was like walking past. I went like, "Why are you working on this? You're working down there." And they were like, "Sorry." And they just walked off and they were like, "Bye." And I was like,
but the thing is though, I get it and I understand that sentiment. I could have had a suitcase full of, petrol. Do you know what I mean? Like, I literally, she saw that it was me, brought my bag over to the bit where they're like, right, what's this? It was full of red flags. I saw the screen. As soon as it started to go through the thing, I thought, I've got so much shit in there that I shouldn't have and I'm going to have to throw it all away and that's really annoying. I saw it, red flag, boop, 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 boop. She brings it over and then she's like, "Are you that guy from TikTok?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Oh, just take it, it's fine." And I was like,
that's elite. I love that.
I was like,
so
but that's
sick.
also, that's elite, but it's also illegal.
Yeah, it's very, very scary.
what level do you have to get to where people just don't care what you have on you? Because what's the list that you give when you're doing like a show somewhere? It's like a rider.
Yeah.
So anybody that is quote unquote in the industry and has the knowledge of what a rider is, the person who tells you about a rider will go like, "I've heard some really fucking crazy riders in my time."
Yeah.
And it's literally just like drugs and like women.
I've heard like
just,
puppies.
Crazy shit that's on
By the
rider.
way, a rider is what you give to a venue before you arrive for what you want in your dressing room. So it's a list of stuff that you want in your dressing room. And then when you arrive, it's there waiting for you. Yeah. So like, for example, when we were on tour, we'd put like Red Bull, like lemonade. I think we had a bottle of vodka.
It wasn't
every
the craziest.
No, it wasn't. I think we had like a bottle of vodka, and then halfway through the tour, we had to stop putting the vodka because we were just collecting them as we went. And we had like 6 bottles of vodka on our bus that were like unopened, and we're like, "Oh shit." That's a lie. But we just didn't drink a litre a night. But yeah.
But there's like so many things like that people like. I've
heard like new
told you
puppies.
what a rider was like.
Yes.
oh, you, because your immediate question is, I don't know, what do other people put on riders?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they go, oh, you don't want to know what other people put on
Literally.
riders. They put like fucking bags on there. They want girls in their changing rooms. They want 50 bottles of like, I don't know, some Moe or some shit. And you're like,
You know, I might burst your bubble a little bit, but you know that you pay for your riders, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool,
No,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you don't know. Sometimes if you're doing like a thing, then they like I've heard in some cases, or I guess if you're just that big and famous, then
So
I guess
like,
you still are paying for it, aren't you?
no.
It'll come out of
So
the
like,
total
if you
cost.
go to a festival, you're not paying for your rider.
Oh yeah, when I did the King's Trust, I had a rider, but I didn't pay for it.
Exactly.
because, like,
But for like your own show, your own
Yes.
tour,
Yeah.
the promoter pays for it.
Yeah.
And it's the promoter that provides the rider,
And
not
then
the
they
venue.
deduct
but
the
then they
cost.
deduct that
Yeah.
from the cost.
that makes
Yeah.
sense. I remember a contestant of RuPaul's Drag Race, like Tia Coffey was on, got cancelled because on the rider they said that at every show they wanted red M&Ms and like 4 bottles of champagne or something like that. And at that point, like, you couldn't buy red M&Ms, so like they wanted someone to like pick them out and only
That's
give them the red
honestly
M&Ms.
just a dick swinging contest
Exactly.
at
Yeah.
that
I don't
point.
even know if it
Yeah.
was true, but they got cancelled for it, and it was like this
dick
whole
tucking
thing.
contest.
Hey,
actually.
there we go,
Hey,
slay.
that's what we're talking
Yeah, I had a rider at the King's Trust thing, and I didn't know that I had a rider, so the people that like put on the event just panicked because we didn't send anything. So when I arrived, there was like a full weekly shop there, like all the sweets you can imagine, all the fruit and veg that you can imagine, carrots, hummus, cucumber, real ginger from the roots with honey, lemon, just in case for like vocal warm-ups or whatever that people request. So random. I once did a shoot with Paloma Faith, and her rider...
Paloma Faith.
Nah. Close. But no. I once did one with a shoot with her where I just interviewed her, and her rider was her weekly shop. And she said, I do so many things where I get a rider that I just put my weekly shop down and then someone else buys it for me. How clever
Now
is
that's
that?
clever and not even arsehole-y. That's just
Oh, it was
sick.
normal stuff. It was like sprouts, broccoli, like some like chicken there or something.
Actually,
That's pretty brilliant.
It
I
was
like that.
so- It was
I do
in,
like
in that moment. I was like, "That is so fucking
clever as
clever!" Like
freak,
that's
yeah.
like free Deliveroo. You just don't. Well, you still pay for it, but you don't pay the service charge.
It
Brilliant.
was funny. So, like, I was literally speaking with our people that work for us about riders 2 days ago, and they were explaining, like, they were saying, like, I need a rider for you guys, and I was like, oh, we don't need anything. Like last
Yeah.
tour, I just went to somewhere and got a bunch of stuff put on the bus.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, no, just don't do that. Just tell us. And like every time you go, grab what you want, and like take it on the bus and keep it with you. And they were like, oh, are there any times where you want loads of alcohol? And I was like, no, there was 2 shows. It was like Manchester, where we drank a lot.
Yeah.
And Bristol, I don't think we did, but I did say that we did. And Manchester...
Yeah, we went out afterwards, so I guess. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, but not at the venue.
yeah,
No,
but
not at the
we
venue.
went crazy after
Yeah, we did.
Bristol.
We did. But for Manchester, all your family were there. We should talk about that if
Yeah.
we haven't already.
Yeah.
All your family were there and we were drinking and we didn't have anything with us. So I had to buy it from the venue, which was really expensive. So
Oh yeah, of course.
Exactly. So they were saying
It's cheaper.
that like just tell... For every venue that you do, just say you want a bottle of vodka and this whatever, and just keep collecting them. And then if you need it one night, you've got it, and you haven't paid ridiculous prices.
For our like next
Yeah.
tour, for like one venue, should we just put something really outlandish on the rider and see if it pops up, like
Yeah.
a freshly newborn puppy or something? Like,
What I will say, actually, this is something you guys at home can get involved in. I want to see, comment down below what you would have on your rider, and then
That's so
And then we
interesting.
can have a look through them and think, oh shit, that'd be cool for us.
Yeah, I
So,
like that.
POV, you're going to a show, you're the performer. What do you want on your rider?
yes.
Realistic and silly.
Yes. Yeah.
So anyway, at the start of that, I said, have you watched any shows recently?
We got a bit sidetracked.
And then you said you wanted to download Virgin Island.
Yes. So we got asked. Someone asked for. Do you know that on Virgin Island they have these like sex experts?
Sexpert.
Yes, and they asked to come on our podcast. I forgot to tell you.
Did you?
Yeah, but I thought it was at the point where like it had kind of passed.
But
and
like what I've heard about the show. Are the sex experts? They actively get involved in sex
yes,
with
they
the
like
virgins,
teach
right?
them sex. So that's where like people have had a bit of a moral dilemma with the show because it's like you've got these virgins and then you've got people that actually like have sex with them. I believe so. I've not watched it. That's what I've heard. Yeah. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Or like teach them intimacy and stuff like that. So a lot of people are basically calling these sex experts weirdos and being like, that's literally in any other circumstance, that's fucking weird. But apparently when you watch the show, you can tell that they are literally like doing it. I want to kill myself. I actually want to shoot myself. I'm so upset right now. This couldn't be more bright and vibrant of a thing to like. Can you see how stained I am? Oh my god. I need
what do you need? Tell me. You wait there. You carry on.
Help.
What do you need?
I need towel. Paper towel.
No. Okay, let me get you paper.
Oh my god.
Kermit nutted all over him.
Oh my god,
so
I actually
horrible.
Can't believe that just happened.
Use that for now.
Thank you.
Oh, he got nutty wurty all over him.
Oh,
I'm just happy you didn't get it on easy.
Fuck.
I can't believe how green I am right now.
That's insane.
That's wild. It's like I've been Nickelodeon slimed.
Oh,
like
Shrek is love, Shrek is
oh
life.
my god, Shrek spunked all over me. Well, this is just the biggest inconvenience ever.
That
isn't
you're
it?
never gonna be able to wear that shirt again.
No chance.
Unless you do it for the rest of it, and it's just a cool design.
Oh, do you know what? Do you remember when that girl did that with red wine at like the races or something?
Red
Oh my god, I'm so mad. Sorry, Evie, I don't want to wake you up, darling.
Do you know what? There's so much on it that you could get away with once that's dried. It just being the design of the
I guess
shirt.
you kind of could. Yeah. Oh
So what were you saying before you just splooged all over you?
Talking about the sexperts, the sex experts. I would consider myself a sex expert.
But like,
that's a lie.
that's such a strange concept.
It
But that's
is.
just the way reality TV is going, guys.
I guess it
If
is.
you don't like it,
Wait.
get off.
We've not spoke about the fact that I literally went to Buckingham Palace to meet the king.
Yes.
How have we not spoke about that yet?
Yes.
Oh, my
yeah.
god, I completely
I've got something
forgot.
really specific about it as well.
Oh.
The fact that you literally drove into Buckingham Palace
That
is
was
wild.
So-
On your phone.
Yeah, I know. That was fucking crazy.
That's what most like shocked me. I couldn't
That
believe
was
it.
crazy. So I need to
Just
stop
driving in through the front. I wasn't aware that was a place you could drive.
That's what I'm saying. Literally
either.
through the gate and then through the building up till the.
Oh my god, guys!
I didn't realise there was a bit inside that was basically just like an entrance that you could stop off at.
Me neither. Me neither. It was a full car park. Like
Crazy.
I was in shock. One sec. Let me just sort this out. 'Cause
Yeah, take your time.
I'm gonna spill this shit all over myself again. They told
she's
me.
running in her sleep.
I found. Oh bless. Oh my god, she's running. Oh my god, she's dreaming. Do you know what? I googled it because dogs, they have memories in that, like, over time they learn certain things based on like their memory of doing it in the past. However, they cannot envision memories, so like they can't ever sit there and be like, oh, do you remember when I went to the park yesterday? That was so good. However, the only time that part of their brain kind of comes alive is when they're asleep, because they can only dream about factual things that they've done. They can't invent things. So do you know how we'll have a dream of like, I was flying through the sky and then this weird thing happened?
Yeah.
They can only dream about things that they've actually experienced.
Why
So
don't we
in her
make her
dreams, she'll be
fly?
like running in our kitchen right now, because that's the only, because she's never been on a walk yet.
Why don't? Why don't we teach her how to lucid dream so she can be the creator?
Oh,
How are you gonna do that?
hot take.
Start drawing numbers on the back of her paws.
Oh.
And then when she wakes up in her dream and there's no numbers there,
Ah.
she knows she's in a dream.
Wow, that's
Woof
sick.
woof, Evie. Woof woof.
Hated that, by the way. So I found out the reason I got invited to Buckingham Palace, in case anybody is incredibly confused, I would understand that. People in my comments were literally like, what the fuck is going on? This is the wildest thing.
Yeah.
So the
Token gay guys, that's what
they needed to fill a quota, and I did that. So it was what used to be called the Prince's Trust, the charity, now called the King's Trust. They do an award show every year. I've hosted the red carpet for the last 4 years, well, including this one just gone. And this year, and every year, the winners of the awards and the people that give out the awards on stage get to go to Buckingham Palace to meet the King or
so you're giving
Queen.
an award out this year?
No, I didn't. No, but this year, because I've been doing it for so long, they put me forward to go to Buckingham Palace, and they basically, like, one of the like head women there, I get along with her really well, and she was like, I like was pushing for you, but like you never know because they go through such a rigorous like background check to make sure that you're sane enough to go to Buckingham Palace. So it was basically up in the air whether I was going to be allowed to go, which is a bit rude, but it is what it is. But that's the case with everyone. So then I only found out about like a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't even digest it. I was just like, what do you mean I'm going to Buckingham Palace? And I also didn't know anybody else that would be going. I didn't think that it would be as much of like a really homely welcome to Buckingham Palace experience as much as I thought it would be. Like, we arrive and kind of like maybe see the king and then like go sort of thing.
And he's just sort of in the kitchen like,
yeah.
cup of tea? Or...
Literally, George, I got sent this letter. I read it out on my TikTok, and it was so like the thickest, fanciest paper you've ever seen. The full stamps from Buckingham Palace, everything. Yeah. And it had enclosed 2 secret slips in it that I had to use to get through security. So one of them had all of my details on it, like my date of birth, my name, where I'm from, everything that would match up to my ID. And it had like a code on it that I imagine is only usable on that specific day. And then I also got given a piece of paper with 2 letters to put in my windscreen if I wanted to drive. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, well, I'll just drive then. Like, there must be like some back end car park or something that I can go in. Like, that'll probably be easier. Because I drive everywhere.
Parked in the living room.
That is insane.
Buckingham Palace.
Yeah. So then I get there and the address that I'd been given on the slip was like the front gate. So I'm like, oh, this is weird. Maybe like there's a side gate that they're going to lead me down. Yeah. Literally, I pull in. The police stop me because they noticed the thing. They cross-check everything, check that I'm on the list, everything. And then they're like, right, okay. They check that there's no one else in the car, like really thorough security. And then they're like, right, okay, we're going to open the gates for you now. So just get ready to go in. All of these people around, obviously just the gates of Buckingham Palace, start losing their mind because they think like, they probably think I'm like Prince Harry or something. I don't fucking know. They're like, ginger beard, who is this? And I'm just there like, what? Then these 2 girls that actually recognize me, I've never seen 2 people look so confused in their life. And I think that they were Northern as well, because I heard them be like, what the fuck? And I was like, honestly, I get it, girls. Like, imagine how bizarre that would be to see me driving into Buckingham, especially if you were a tourist of London and you're like, shall we go to Buckingham Palace? And then you see Max Balegde driving into it through the big golden front gates. Like, it was so bizarre. I go through and I'm filming the entire thing. And then this guy with a gun is like, please put your phone away. And I'm like, shit, okay. Whoa, didn't think that one through. And then I got my phone back out. Don't recommend, but I was fine. And I just like quietly filmed from like here whilst I was driving. Going through, there's another car in front of me. They're like, just follow that car. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm driving at like 2 miles per hour because I was trembling because I was like, I did not expect to be driving in this way.
That's quite comfortably going to be the only time you drive into Buckingham Palace.
100 million trillion percent. 100 million. Probably the only time the majority of people have ever done it. Like, I was the only one out of that whole entire group of people that were there that drove in, because who else would choose to do that? That's not normal. Like,
quite casual.
It's very casual. I showed up in my frigging Volvo. I went to get it washed beforehand because I was like, I can't show up with bird shit all over my car to Buckingham Palace.
I'd have gone in a line bike.
Oh my God, that would have been so good.
Fucking epic. Imagine docking the line bike in Buckingham Palace and it showing up on the map.
I should have gone on one of those cars that we had for our tour where we drove on stage, the tiny mini. So I'm like driving in, and then in front of me in this like blacked out car, get out George Clooney and Amal Clooney, his wife. And I was like, okay, what is happening? And then more security are like, yeah, just park up over there, sir. I'm parked up by myself because no one else has frigging drove. So I'm just baffled. We go through. It was like being in a museum because it's so big and so grand. And like there was so we got taken up to this room.
How much, like, does it look like all the sort of stately homes that are sort of like museum-y like things?
Better. Or honestly, it was literally like nothing I've ever experienced.
But does it look like people live there?
No.
Not at all.
No. But they did. So the room that we were in, they don't often use it. They usually use that room to greet other royalty from other countries that come in. So it's like a big giant room that was like something ridiculous, like probably like 20 times the size of our studio, that just went like really wide but went all the way down like a big rectangle.
Yeah.
There was like a huge tea station, so I got a cup of tea because I was like, I'm not going to not have a cup of tea in the freaking
Did you
Buckingham
steal
Palace.
anything from Buckingham Palace?
I did not. I didn't steal anything. I really contemplated stealing a mug and a plate. But I didn't, because I was like, they're going to have eyes on me everywhere. Like, it's just too much.
I bet it's very common.
Yeah. I did go to the toilet, and I took loads of selfies in the bathroom and took a video of the bathroom because it was the fanciest bathroom ever. What else did I do?
Well, not a Buckingham
So
Palace, but
mad.
in a different palace.
Yeah. So in this particular room, it was just painting after painting on the wall. The ceiling was probably like 15 meters high or something like that, and it was just pictures next to each other and then on top of each other. There must have been 100 pictures in this room on every wall. Yeah, literally. And it was so weird seeing in real life like paintings, because I'm not a big like historical art or like museum lover.
Yeah.
But I would see the paintings and I'd be like, oh, I've seen that like in a movie, or like there was this one. And I was like, why do I know that? And it's a Rembrandt painting, which is like one of the most famous. And I think it was...
Tell me who Rembrandt is, man.
Big up Rembrandt. And it was a picture of Van Gogh was the painting, I believe.
Oh,
and it
cut the ear off.
Yes,
That
one. No, I don't know if it was the cut the ear off.
That's Van Gogh. Van Gogh drew that.
Yeah. But I think it was a picture of Van Gogh that Rembrandt had drawn. I might be wrong. Someone said that. I don't know. And I was like, I've literally seen that in like movies, and I'm looking at it in person right now. And it was also really air conditioned. But I was looking around for an air conditioner, and I was like, there's nothing. Obviously, like a big unit would just throw off the vibe. Some of the air conditioning was coming from behind the paintings. They do it to keep the paintings cool. They had like installations behind the paint. It was madness. And then someone told us that the Queen in her spare time used to just come to that room, walk around, like let the dogs run free and just look at the paintings. And I was like, that's mad, because then I started to be like, I'm in a room that has so much history, like the Queen was here. And then I deeped it more and I was like, Henry the fucking 8th was here. All of these people have been here.
Living in Buckingham Palace?
Yeah, everyone, all the royals. It goes back, I think so. I said that to someone and they were like, yeah, so I think so.
How long ago did they start doing Buckingham Palace?
I feel like a very long time ago. Someone there did agree with me, but equally I think it was Sam Thompson, so I don't think.
No, he didn't. Oh, no, he was Hampton Court Palace, actually. I know that anyway, but yeah.
When did Buckingham Palace start then? Can't be with the Queen, surely.
No. When Buckingham Palace...
Oh, yeah. The person I confirmed that with was Sam Thompson. And
it was
I don't
built
think he had...
in 1703 for the Duke of Buckingham. Makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
And later acquired by King George III in 1761. So it wasn't actually built by the royal family, which is kind of crazy.
Oh my God! But I have the wildest.
George 4, 3, 1 and 2.
Oh, that's cute.
Our people hated us, and we hated them too.
Is that Horrible Histories?
Just because our blood was blue.
Oh, was that Horrible Histories?
We were born to rule over you.
I wish I watched Horrible Histories. There's so many references that you dropped that I just never got into it. It always freaked me out. I don't know why. History in general freaks me out.
There was an audio one that I used to listen to, and it was about World War II, and it scared the shit out of me.
Oh my God.
People chuck me out like a crazy kangaroo.
I have the craziest story about meeting King Charles. So we got split into different clusters of people to meet him in like little groups. I was with Melvin Aldoom, who was on I'm a Celeb, he's a radio.
Creamy Muck Muck fan.
What? Creamy Muck Muck fan?
Melvin O'Doom. He was. Do you not know he was on Dick and Dom in the Bungalow?
Was he?
Do you not know this?
No.
Cal, can you type in Melvin O'Doom, Dick and Dom?
Really?
Every time Creamy Muck Muck happened at the end of the ep, he'd come in and he'd be dancing in the Creamy Muck Muck.
Shut up. I had no idea. No, I just thought he was like a really professional radio guy.
Brother, this is going to completely change your... Ain't nothing going to make me not think of Melvin O'Doom as the Dick and Dom Creamy Muck Muck guy.
Oh, wow.
Is it there? Oh my God. He looks the same now, by the way. That's wild. Oh my God.
I used to love the show.
That's crazy. He has not aged one day. That's crazy.
What? No way.
Wow.
That's crazy, right?
Good.
Nuts.
Big up Melvin O'Doom.
It'd
Anyway,
just be boogieing through getting creamy muck.
that's
Oh
crazy.
my
Carry
gosh,
on.
yeah, I recognise him now from this picture.
Wow.
Oh, my word.
So anyway, I was in a cluster with him and 2 of the award winners, and then the cluster just before us was the Sugar Babes. Brilliant, iconic,
Hell yeah.
all of the above. So as the king is literally meeting the Sugar Babes, random sentence to say out loud, after that he comes to me. So I like shake his hand. Also the royal protocol, do you know what it is of like meeting the king? Like,
You don't. Is it?
You have
what
to
is
dab
it?
him up
You
3
dab?
times.
Is it Spud?
Dap.
Yep.
Hug.
Hug.
Thing. Yeah.
Is it
Hug.
brother? You call him? What are you supposed to call him?
Brother of a different mother.
Oh,
Bro-
okay.
Yeah, that's what you have to say.
Right, okay.
No, so when he comes to you, you can only put your hand out to shake his hand if he puts it out first. Then when he does, you refer to him as Your Majesty at the first. Then after you shake hands and he says hello back, then you can call him sir. So this is going around in my head and I'm like, shit, don't fuck it up, come on.
Do you think he cares about that?
No, he was so chill. But I mean, it's royal protocol. Like, you're not going to not
What's
do
the
it, are
odds
you?
Max fucked it up?
Oh, exactly. I apologize for having a sweaty hand, and instantly I was like, why did I say that out loud? Like, I should have just kept that to myself. He probably didn't even notice. Like, oh God. But anyway, so he is with the Sugar Babes, and then afterwards he starts talking to our cluster that has Melvin in it.
Yeah.
So I said like I'm going to be hosting the red carpet. This is my 4th year. It's an absolute honor. Thank you so much. And then Melvin was like, I'm going to be DJing the red carpet to like, you know, give some vibes for whilst
Hell
people
yeah.
arrive. So let me know if you have any requests. And the king goes, yes, I was just talking to the Sugar Babes and they said that they were going to give me one of their CDs. So perhaps you could play some of that. And I was like, what the hell universe am I living in where the king just requested Sugar Babes via CD as well? Like, what? You just know that the king does not have Spotify. Like, he doesn't even have Apple Music,
Just
for
pop it
Christ's
on the
sake.
Royal Sonos.
So funny. And then afterwards, this reporter comes over to us, and I'm like, that's so interesting. Like, I've never seen like a proper proper old school reporter there with like a notepad. Like, and he came over and he was like, so what was the king talking about with you? And I was like, he requested the Sugar Babes. And this guy's like, really? I was like, yeah, he was just talking to the Sugar Babes and then he requested it. And Melvin was like, yeah, he said I can play the Sugar Babes. This guy's writing it down. I don't think anything of it. The next day when I'm, that evening, when my grandma comes in, I'm out for dinner with her and Andrew. I'm telling them this story. All over, like, nationwide news, the king requests Sugar Babes to be played at the King's Trust Awards in loads of papers, on the news, everything.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Because it's the I didn't even think, obviously. Of course, this is probably a really legit reporter that has so many connections because we're with the frigging king.
Yeah.
So anything that I say is probably going to be used if it's that interested.
Bullshit up.
Then and there, I was like, I could have said anything. I could have said like the king said that I'm sick as tits. Like,
Next time you get invited to Buckingham Palace and you meet the king and you go up to a reporter afterwards, make sure you're filming on the sly and you're filming a video entitled "How I Tricked the Whole Nation into the King."
Oh my gosh, what a banger of a YouTube video
that would be a great idea.
Slaps.
That would be a great idea. But it was just wild. Like, and in that moment, I was like, oh my God, I was really in like a really important thing. Like,
Yeah.
that's so bizarre to me. We all got given, the king cut a cake and then we all got given a slice. So I took some home for my grandma. Yeah, it was mesmerizing. Like, I met like Joanna Lumley. You know who she is? She played
Joanna
Patsy.
Lumley,
Yeah.
French and Saunders.
Oh my God, so iconic. Who else was there? Gareth Southgate, someone that
course.
you'll probably know.
Yeah.
Big up, Gaz.
Ex-England manager.
Really? I thought he was just like a footballer.
No, he was the one that managed us for the last World Cup Euros.
No way.
He's been managing us since like 2016.
Really? He was so nice.
He's not in the job anymore.
He was so lovely. Like, out of everyone, he was one of the nicest people that I met, I'd say.
That is such a funny crossover. I never thought I'd see Max Balegde say that Gareth Southgate was the nicest.
He was so lovely. He really was so lovely. Who else did I meet? Obviously, the Sugar Babes. Fern Cotton. We love
Nice.
Fern Cotton.
Fern Cotton's cool.
Fern Cotton's
That's
iconic.
Cool. What
She
is
is actually
like?
so nice, so iconic. Who else was there? I met George Clooney.
That's cool
crazy.
as fuck.
That's so friggin' cool.
I'm convinced to this day. I was in a taxi driving past a pub in London, and George Clooney was outside with a pint in hand. Because there was a man who looked Hollywood, and then I looked at him and I was like, That looks insanely like George Clooney. He just had his like aviators on.
Mm-hmm. It probably was. I mean, George Clooney seemed like a very down-to-earth guy, which is strange because he's the least close to earth man.
Yeah.
But he was so lovely. He shook my hand. I was like, this is mad right now. I'm in Buckingham Palace shaking hands with George Clooney. What is going on? It was surreal. It was so cool. Like, I didn't want it to end, but I was so overwhelmed. It was one of those moments in life, like, where you feel like you're above your own body. And I was like, afterwards I reflected on it and I was like, that's so weird that I lived that. Like, it doesn't even feel like I lived it. I was sweating so much under my suit with anxiety. It was crazy, but
that's insane.
What a time to be alive!
That is incredible.
Because afterwards, I bet you just get home and you're like, I was at Buckingham Palace today.
Literally, I got home.
How do you just carry on with a day?
I got home and then I had to go and pick my grandma up from the bus station because she just got the coach to London because she didn't like getting on a train.
Yeah.
And I was with her and I was like, I've just driven from Buckingham Palace to a bus station to pick you up. That's so bizarre. She was like, yeah, that's weird. I was like, that's so friggin' weird. Like,
that's what I felt like with, sorry to be like me, but I felt like that's what I felt like with Wembley.
I was going to say,
my God,
when I talk about like that out of body experience, I remember you saying something similar about that. Like, I can't even imagine.
Because I was just running on the pitch and I remember Toby and Ethan in front of me and running over and being like, this is sick, right?
Yeah.
But the first like few steps of running onto the pitch, I literally have no memory of whatsoever.
So wild. They talk about it, that it's a real thing that like people who do like big artists that do tours of like 20,000 people a night, they have to do this certain type of therapy to help them wind down because they get so riled up that it's like impossible to sleep after you've done something like that.
Going back to just normal life after doing like a huge tour. So like say you're Twee Swissmeister,
yeah,
and you've just done back-to-back like sold-out stadium
for like
shows
2 years as well.
Yeah, and then you just go like, well, I guess she's never gonna get to be like, oh, but now I'm just shopping at Tesco.
Yeah,
like,
but I'm sure that she has like a secret house that she goes back to and is just there by herself. Like, well, that's over now. That's so weird.
It's the fact that your brain, it actually alters your brain chemistry because you'll get so, for like months on end, these artists have huge endorphin highs and then they come off stage and it's like, there's just nothing.
Yeah.
And that like drastic change is what like messes with their brain, which is why a lot of artists have mental health issues post tours.
Well, it's like
you can tell why they turn to drugs and shit. Like all of the
dopamine is fried.
The reason why they do, well, a lot of the reason why they try and fill that void of like coming off of stage and that dopamine's gone. They try and take drugs to fill that void. That's a lot of the reason why.
Yeah, that's why I was just shooting up after.
Okay,
that's not.
He
true.
wasn't.
I wasn't. That's a joke. But no, it was crazy. It was wild.
So yeah, your favourite...
Dynamo. I met Dynamo. Sorry, someone that you will be so impressed with. Sorry.
Dynamo freaking...
I have a video on my phone of Dynamo doing a magic trick in front of me, Kate Garraway from The News, Jamie Lang and Sophie Habu in the corridor of Buckingham Palace, and he was turning paper into money. And I was just like, what the fuck? Let me show you the video. It's the worst video ever as well, because I was like trembling with just being really, really overwhelmed.
I think I saw you. Did you post it on your TikTok or so? I saw somebody's angle of it.
I think that Jamie posted one. Yeah. I think Jamie posted one. Let me find it. Dynamo, sick. I want him on the pod, big time.
Hell yeah, I get Dynamo on the... That man's got stories upon stories.
Oh my god, he was so interesting.
Once you get to his level, you've done a magic trick for everyone.
Yeah, and the fact, like, even at the King's Trust Awards the next day, he was just on tap doing magic for people. Like, he did a marker pen on this woman's hand, like did a cross, and then made her put both hands out and threw it to the other hand, and it just appeared. I was looking at her other hand and it just appeared. I don't know how it freaks me out. Let me find this video for you because it's freaking crazy.
But yeah, what I was teeing up for you with the TV series, I watched one last night. That was called Trainwreck, and it was about a poop cruise.
Oh wait, no, I've seen on Netflix. I really want to watch it.
It's so funny.
Is it actually good? I'll watch it tonight.
It's funny because the peril is just a boat full of shit. Because like, it's not like, fuck, people could die here. Because basically all the food rations obviously are running low. but there's boats coming in and giving them
Yeah.
stuff. Like that, people know where they are. It's not like they're stranded at sea and
Of
you
course.
have no. They're like start eating people or whatever.
Yeah.
But they've literally just got no air conditioning, so they basically have to sleep on the deck. But sorry, to give a brief overview. Basically, there was a cruise called the Sandal Triumph or something like that. It might not be Sandal. That might be anyway, something Triumph. It had a fire in one of its engines. It burnt out the all of the main cables going to the power supply, fried everything. Meant they lost power and they just sat there. Also meant they lost power to their toilets because they couldn't flush them. So they were advised to piss in the shower. After a few days, they realised the shower wasn't washing away, so they just had pools of piss filling up in their shower. They were told to poo in these biohazard bags, which they couldn't exactly get rid of. So the whole place just smelt like piss and shit because there was no aircon as well. Everything was really warm, which doesn't help that smell. And then everybody moved their mattresses to the decking, started sleeping out there. But obviously food was getting brought to them, water was getting brought to them. So basically the main peril was that it just stank of piss and shit. And they're all there like speaking to these things like, we're not going to get out of here in the next few days. And but it's just so funny for it to be taken that serious. Like, obviously it's a very serious thing, but when like the sort of villain in this story is just like showers full of piss and shit.
That's awful. That is disgusting. Let me show you this.
I need to see this.
Look at it. You can see him. He's got the money in his hand now, and then it just turns paper. I just couldn't believe it. And then he just turned it into money. It was crazy. It was so wild. It was so wild. But yeah, crazy times. Well, I feel like we should probably wrap up the episode. But before we do, I just want to say that by the next episode, we would have done our Brighton show and our live stream for our Patreon. We're doing so much for the podcast right now. Go us.
We're doing all sorts of things.
And you might have noticed that, yes, we announced that we're doing a live show for Brighton. The tickets have sold out, and by the time that this is come out, it's already gone. The reason that the tickets sold out so fast is because our Patreon members snapped them up. So,
let's make this clear. They slapped up the early access, which is exclusive to the Patreon.
Of course.
If you aren't exclusively on the Patreon, obviously you will have ticket availability. Unfortunately,
yes.
it'll be when it comes
limited
to general sale, and you're less likely to get a ticket.
And we are getting more and more raving reviews from our interns on our Patreon. So thank you all so much for everybody who has subscribed to that. We really appreciate you. We love you. And we're about to hop on a live stream to speak to you now.
How freaking yeah. But until then, Evie's up. She's getting ready. She's stretching them limbs. Because we about to create some up in this live stream.
Bless her.
Calm down. It's just football. See you then.
Bye.